This year's CIH president is Lara Oyedele. Her presidential campaign, called In My Shoes, aims to raise awareness of the importance of lived experience and racial diversity in the housing sector. We spoke with Lara at this year's CIH Housing Brighton to learn more about how her campaign is a catalyst for positive change.
There are few things more fundamental in life than a home. If you have one, you have a bedrock, a foundation for all you might achieve in life. If you don't, you're in limbo. It's day-to-day survival. Things are turned upside down. Lara Oyedele knows this better than most. For the president of the Chartered Institute of Housing, being homeless was once her lived experience.
You literally cannot do anything else in your life if you have no home to go to.
In her late teens, Lara found herself on the streets, sleeping rough, and working several part-time jobs. Eventually, she was given a council flat.
I can't express how happy I was to know that this night I would not be sleeping on the streets or sleeping in someone's back garden or trying to sleep in the office where I was a cleaner. Getting that council flat enabled me to go back to finish my A-levels at college. And as a result of that, I decided to work in the sector that provided people with homes the way I had been provided homes. And I thought housing, giving people a home, people who need it, people who are desperate, giving someone that set of keys to their new home is just a phenomenal thing to do. And I'm glad I made that decision.
Now that she's reached the heights of her profession, president of the CIH, and speaking at the Housing Brighton conference, Lara is trying to change the housing sector itself with a campaign called In My Shoes.
It was very evident to me that as I'd become more and more senior in the sector, there's less people that look like me, even though the sector is a very diverse sector, but it's very diverse at the front line, at the junior levels. And as you become a director or a board member, there tends to be very few of us. What's happening in the sector? Why are we losing all this experienced, knowledgeable and capable black and brown professionals? Why are they leaving the sector? Why are they not making it up to the top?
This isn't an exercise in bureaucratic box ticking, says Lara. A lack of diversity in management and boardrooms has real-world implications on the quality of service.
If you've got a non-diverse, and I've seen this, if you've got a boardroom where everyone's white and male, they're only going to see the world from one point of view, and they're going to make decisions that don't reflect maybe my needs or maybe another female's needs or a black person's needs or a young person's needs.
So what are the Chartered Institute of Housing doing to make improvements in equality, diversity and inclusion all across the housing sector? To get an idea, I spoke to Callum Chomjuk, chair of CIH's EDI group.
There's probably two main things that we're focused on right now. The first one was we worked with the sector over months and months and months to build what we called an EDI framework. And that is a toolkit or a resource, something to help individual professionals and landlords improve their performance on EDI. The other thing we need to know at CIH is we need to know what our members look like. And we don't know their disability status, we don't know their sexual orientation, we don't know their kind of race, religion. And actually, without understanding the profession, without understanding our members, we have no chance of actually improving representation in the housing profession.
Both Lara and Callum acknowledge CIH is at the beginning of this equality, diversity and inclusion journey. The organisation has recently launched its EDI census to capture data and discover what their membership and in turn the housing profession looks like across the UK. This will help identify where the sector may be underrepresented in different areas. Alongside that, their EDI framework is a helpful tool that can be used by individuals or landlords to make positive changes right now. At its Brighton conference, I met Alicia Burrell. She's one of housing's next generation of leaders and a member of the CIH Futures team of young professionals intent on making housing an attractive career for all.
The sector is facing a skill shortage. Around 20% of the sector is going to retire by 2027. There are a lack of young people moving into the sector. So diversity is really important for young people to see other young professionals who already work in the sector, to see that they can go into those careers as well, but also diversity in terms of a race and ethnicity perspective, in terms of gender as well. That's really important as well for young people to be able to see, you know, I can go into these careers because I'm represented and I want to make a difference.
Having diversity campaigns fronted by an organisation like the Chartered Institute of Housing encourages greater diversity, which allows for new ideas, innovation, and people thinking in different ways, which will lead to better outcomes for tenants. Ultimately, the housing sector should look more like the people it serves.